Hi, this is Edward Troxel, and today we're going to expand on the previous script by splitting the code into smaller segments that can be reused at later times. Subroutines are good for creating routines that can be used over and over again. While these specific routines may not be routines that you want to save to use over and over again, it will show you how they can be created and how the same routine can be used multiple times. If we look back at our last script, it looks kind of like this. Now we are going to split this up into smaller routines that we can simply call. The first routine we're going to create is a get file name routine. So let's take this part right here. We will copy that and we will come down here and create a new routine called function get file name, and we are going to pass a title to that function. So now we'll come in here and we'll paste what we had up above. So we start with our file to open equals file dialog, but instead of having a constant string here, we are going to change that to title, which is the title that we are passing the function. Then if the file to open, let's get our positioning correctly, if our file to open is null, then we are going to go ahead and alert that no file was selected, and then we are going to return null because no file was selected. Otherwise, we are going to return file to open. So now we can change this up here. The variable file to open equals get file name, and then if file to open is not equal to null, then we are going to do everything in the else. So let's break this down a little bit more. Let's take the bin search. So we want to look for the bin, and we want to look at it in the root item, and we only want to look for bin, and we want to look for only the one named test, and if one is not created, then we want to create the one called test. So let's cut this, and we're going to change this line to be variable mybin equals find root bin, and then the name of the bin we want to find is test. So now let's come down here and create this routine. So we create a function find root bin, and we're going to pass a bin name to that routine. Now let's just paste this, and this has the beginnings of what we're going to do. So we create the variable mybin and set it to null. Then we go through and try to find a bin named bin name, not in quotes this time, because we want to use the name that was passed here, and so we use bin name here. If it found it, then it sets it to our item. If it did not find it, then it will create a new one named, and once again we wanted to use bin name as the name that it was found. This way, anytime we want to create a bin in the root of the sequence, we could just pass it the name of the bin that we want to find or create. It will either find it or create it if it is not there. Now that it's created or found the bin, we need to return that. So return mybin. So that will return it into this variable. Okay, let's look at, say, this section. We need to find a clip that is in the bin. Let's see if that clip is in the bin. So let's go ahead and cut this, and then we are going to have our variable clip equals find clip in bin, and we're going to pass it a few things. We're going to pass it mybin, the bin to look in, and we're going to pass it the file to open, the file name that we are looking for to see if it is in that bin. So let's come down here and we'll create a new routine. Function find clip in bin. And then we're going to have my bin and file to open. And then let's paste what we had before. We're going to start with clip equals null. Then we're going to look through all the things in the bin that we passed to it, and only in that one bin. If we found the clip, then we will set that here. And up here, we are going to return clip. So the clip that we found will be returned. So now this clip will be the one that was found in that bin. Now let's do one other little thing. This isn't necessary, but just to show you how functions can work. Go ahead and take all of this. I'm going to cut that, and we're going to make a routine called process file. And we're going to pass it, the file, to open. So now down here, let's create a new function. We'll call it process. The capitalization has to be the same, so let's make them all consistent. So the first letter is lowercase and the subsequent words are uppercase. So process file, and then we're going to pass that file to open. And then let's paste all the stuff from before into there. In this particular case, it's going to create the sequence, look through the video tracks, find the first video track, get the cursor position, look for the bin, name test, import the files into the array, find the clip in that bin, and then if the clip is not null, put it on that track. So now, as you can see, our main routine up here is really only about 6 lines long, and it simply calls a bunch of subroutines to get the job done. So let's test it out and see how it works. Control-Shift-A, tell it we're looking at Premiere Pro, run the debug. Premiere pops up here. It asks us to please select an image or video file, so let's go to Drive C, the media, look at this wedding, my files, pull in the GIF table. It's importing the files. It created the test, and it imported that file at the cursor location, just like before. As you can see, creating subroutines lets us create little routines that we can use over and over again so that we can simplify our main programs, and that our subroutines can do all the work. You can also develop a set of subroutines over time so that you can just start a new program using those subroutines and not have to create the steps every time that you write a new program. In fact, I'll show you some of the subroutines that I have created over time in some future videos. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.